Every artist finds their own paths, expresses their art in their own unique way, and even find themselves living up their art journey. But to make it to that point, you have to go through several stages. And you might even find yourself in a different path than maybe you thought that would work for you. How do you really find the correct path to success? Do you build your path with what you have, or do you create it your own way through experiences? Maybe it's time for you to accept what you're really good at and start working on the things that makes you, you. Hey, I'm Mar, and as an artist, I have been through every journey in art, generally every part of art. And I can say it was a really an easy journey. You see, I started being an artist since ever I was young, like preschool young. And until then, I'm still here, craving the passion I desire the most. But who actually knew that one day I would be able to overcome every thoughts that have been battling over my mind? Well, not really over it, but over the past few years and growth that I have been through, I came to realize that there's more than being stuck into one thing, and that's fitting in. Yeah, everyone goes through that phase, which actually you can't even blame yourself for trying to fit into something. Seeking for validation when you yourself is enough validation with what you are doing. And I could say this doesn't just apply to art, but also your life. I guess we sometimes fail to see the potential we have for ourselves and not just to benefit others. And that's why we shouldn't stop craving for improvements. Others may be ahead of us, however, every each of us has our own timeline into when we reach success or even reach a certain goal. I say we keep walking to a path that we can create, to start with courage and determination in what we are doing. For the past 9 years of my journey through digital art, and including the additional years from when I started doing art, I'd say it was a rough start, especially when I decided to try digital art back in 2017. I wasn't really fond of it yet that much, and only until 2020 where I started to post my art on social media. It was pandemic back then, so it was easier to gain attention from the internet and the community. I was still young by that time, but I didn't really expect that my art journey would grow more than I expected. It was then I was very dedicated with what I'm doing, and slowly I've become someone I once dreamed of becoming, a growing artist. But that was my old art account. When I got more focused academically, I suddenly stopped posting and even drawing. Not even a single productivity came into my mind that time. I had to take a break from social media and even went hiatus from doing any art related stuff. I thought that was gonna be my downfall. But it wasn't. Fast forward to the present. I'm currently in college, pursuing an art major course. And yes, I indeed followed my dream and continued to thrive on what I'm best at. I've now kept my consistency on creating artworks and working on my socials. So I can say we're totally back on track. What's also comforting is that I finally found the type of contents that I'm good at. Well, we could say that not all art trends works for everyone, and I do believe we just have to find the right one that suits us the best and where we will thrive as an artist. I've discovered that I thrived at doing art tutorials, tips, and procedures. I saw how much engagement it got me, and that's why I continue to work on it till this day. I think we also have to play the mind of the algorithm of social media these days. In fact, that our feed is being swallowed by reels. I think it is great to find the balance in how you are going to engage yourself to the audience. Personally, I still prefer posting my artworks because it is a ton of work to do contents with all the editing. However, in the process of all that creation, I also discovered that I enjoy creating videos about art tutorials and tips that will help the people of the art community. I say, as someone who is privileged enough to actually get into a course with passion, I'd want to share the knowledge I gain to people who is also striving to be a better artist. Every artist deserves to be acknowledged and appreciated. And so do you. I believe you should also try to create a path where you can thrive and be yourself. Dish out your creativity and make a goal.